Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. As some of you may know, my name is Lorely. I also go by Lolo, and I will be doing my task analysis on teeth brushing. Brushing one's teeth is an important activity of daily living for most people. It is important for oral hygiene in order to prevent from tooth decay and gum erosion. If one does not maintain healthy oral hygiene, this can lead to a loss of one's teeth, which consequently may play a role in a person's food selection, for they will be limited in what they can mechanically chew and eat. Some special considerations to be aware of are not just a person's motor abilities, but a person's cognitive components. Cognition, including timing and sequencing of steps, are important for teeth brushing to be done properly. If a person allocates toothpaste at the end of brushing their teeth, it would be nonsensical. Or if they forget which sections they've already brushed, this will lead to activity incompletion. Thus, when an occupational therapist is assessing a person's toothbrushing activity, it is important for them not only to take in mind the range of motion/motor abilities of the client's muscles, limbs/joints, but it's also important to check for intact cognitive factors, such as spatial awareness and the timing/sequencing of this activity. Additionally, it is good to know that this is not a uniform activity across the board, and therefore teeth brushing will look slightly different for every person. As you can see from the pictures provided here, brushing of one's teeth involves manipulation of the hands, arms, shoulder, elbow, and IP joints, and the thumb. And depending in which direction you're brushing and what position your toothbrush is in, this will change which joints are involved and how much flexion, extension, deviation of the wrist, and so forth. And because of our time constraint, I will only focus on one position of the toothbrush for this PowerPoint. As I previously mentioned, depending on which part of the mouth you're cleaning, this is going to change the direction of the toothbrush as well as the direction of movement within each joint. For this PowerPoint presentation, I will solely be focusing on the bottom jaw on the right side. So I will explain how to brush one's teeth and the motions involved in that, starting from the lateral side of the right molars, and the wrist will be rolling in to the medial side of the molars, as you can somewhat see from the picture provided above. And to the right, I have all of the degrees of flexion, extension, as well as radial deviation, and all of the muscles that go along with it, as well as the concentric and eccentric contractions that are happening at each muscle joint. So if you want to take a look at that, feel free to pause it and take a peep. But again, as I mentioned, starting from the right side, we will say the person has already put on the toothpaste in their toothbrush, and they are beginning with the bottom teeth. So the shoulder would be flexed at about 30 degrees, and because the first 30 degrees are all glenohumeral movement, there is no scapular movement involved. The elbow will be flexed at about 120 degrees, and the wrist will radially deviate about 15%. As the person begins to brush, the elbow will rapidly shift between about 125 to 135 degrees of flexion/extension. Again, starting from the right lateral side, while brushing, wrist extension will go from 65 degrees to 60 degrees to 55 degrees as the wrist slowly flexes from an extended position and becomes less extended as it rolls in. First, brushing the lateral molars, the top of the molars, and then the medial side of the molars. Additionally, it is important to note that the hand will be in more of a hook grip meaning the MCPs are extended while the DIPs and PIPs are flexed when brushing the lateral side of the molars versus when brushing the top side of the molars or the medial side of the molars. And you can apply these same concept to the process on the left side of the bottom teeth, with the exception that the arm and the forearm will be crossing the midline more in order to reach the left-sided molars. A person that would experience difficulties in teeth brushing activities is someone with lateral epicondylitis, also called tennis elbow. This is pain/inflammation at the common extensor origin, aka lateral side of the elbow, caused by repetitive wrist extension. A person with tennis elbow would experience constant pain when extending their wrist during teeth brushing activities. This client could be recommended the use of an air cast band as seen at the top left, and this would decrease the pain felt at the elbow joint. The air cast band would be applied not directly on the elbow, but a bit distally from the origin of pain. Also, you can see this on the picture. The strap is adjustable, and it's able to be made as tight as desired in order to promote partial relief from the pain, as it prevents the pull of the common extensor tendon between the lateral epicondyle and where it is being held immobile. As for assistive devices, the use of a hands-free electronic toothbrush, as seen on the upper right, would eradicate the repetitive use of wrist extension and still promote completion of teeth brushing task. This is a U-shaped mouth guard-like device which simply requires one push of the button in the middle and placed inside the mouth in order to clean the teeth in a time frame of about 30 to 60 seconds. Pushing the button in the middle commences bristle activation, and as it vibrates with high frequency, hundreds of bristles inside remove the plaque or bacteria in the teeth and gums, and thus perform teeth brushing activity without the repetitive and painful motions of wrist extension. Both of these devices are very cost effective and they can be found on Amazon. The AirCast band was about $15 and the hands-free toothbrushing device or electronic toothbrushing device was about $35. All in all, teeth brushing is a very important activity for everyday life, and it is vital to maintain one's independence with teeth brushing as much as possible. If someone runs into motor difficulties with this activity, they can turn to assistive devices such as the hands-free device, or if they're experiencing pain at the lateral epicondylitis, then they can use the AirCast band. Thank you so much for tuning in. That is the end of my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and remember to brush those teeth, and I hope you took something away from this. Have a great day. Bye.